Hey up, everybody. So, continuing the awards season content today on the channel, I'm going to be discussing and predicting the predictions of the 2025 SAG Awards, which are taking place in a week's time. But I thought I'm going to change up a little bit today, and I've decided to bring on a guest today to help have a conversation about these awards. Always nice having a guest to bounce ideas off of. And so I've invited fellow YouTuber and Oscars enthusiast Matthew Anzalone to come join us. So everyone say hi to Matthew. Hey, mate, how's it going?
Hi.
Hi. All good?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
It's my pleasure, mate. I'm glad you could be here. I'm glad to talk SAG predictions with you as well. To all our viewers watching, we will be going through all 6 categories of the SAG Awards, the film categories, I should say, and we'll be giving our thoughts and predictions on each category. And we'll have just a nice little chat, see if we agree and disagree, and who we think the winners are going to be. All right, so Matthew, mate, I want to start things off with what I think is the easiest category to predict this year, which is, in my opinion, it's Best Supporting Actor. So, in Best Supporting Actor at the SAG Awards, our nominees are Jonathan Bailey for Wicked, Yuri Borisov for Anora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. And as I said, this feels like a pretty easy category to me, pal. I think the winner is quite obvious, that it's going to go to Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain. Reasons for that is that he has been the sweeper this year. He has won the most awards in the critics groups. He's won all the major precursors, Critics' Choice, Golden Globes, and BAFTAs. And there was an argument to make, if there's anywhere that Kieran Culkin was going to miss, it would probably be BAFTA, but he still prevailed. In fact, A Complete Unknown had a good turnout at BAFTAs. It also surprisingly won Best Original Screenplay, which was a nice little surprise. But yeah, now that Kieran Culkin has won the BAFTA, I feel even more assured of him winning the SAG Award. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think we even need to debate this category, really. I think out of all 6 categories, this is the most done, in my opinion.
Yeah, pretty obvious. So we're in agreement?
Yeah.
Kieran Culkin? There you have it, folks. We're locking in our predictions now. Both mine and Matthew's predictions for Best Supporting Actor at the SAG Awards. Kieran Culkin for A Complete Unknown. All right then, mate. Let's move on to the other supporting category, which is Best Supporting Actress. In this category, we have Monica Barbara for A Complete Unknown, Jamie Lee Curtis for The Last Showgirl, Daniel Deadwyler for The Piano Lesson, Ariana Grande for Wicked, and Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. Tell me, mate, what are your thoughts on this category, and who do you think is going to win?
First off, it's either Ariana Grande or Zoe Saldana. Let's just state that for the record. It's not going to be Monica, Jamie Lee, or Danielle. Let's just state that.
Yeah, thanks for playing.
Yeah, I've heard through the grapevine that the SAG really loved Wicked, like love it. So it's possible Grande could upset here, but Saldana seems so obvious. Like it's kind of hard to not predict that.
Yeah.
I think I am gonna go with Wicked though. I think I'm gonna go with Ariana Grande.
Cool. Well, I have to tend to agree. I think Best Supporting Actress is a fun one this year at SAG because there's agreed that it does seem like it's either going to go to either Ariana Grande or Zoe Saldana, and the compelling argument for both, because on the one hand, SAG could go with Zoe Saldana because she is, she's a renowned industry professional. She's been in so many big movies like the MCU and the Avatar movies. She's worked with a lot of actors. Like, she's earned that clout over the years, so she probably has reached a point where a lot of people are supporting her, like within the industry. And on the other side, you've got Ariana Grande, who is in the film that got the most SAG nominations. It got 5 nominations, which is a very impressive haul, indicating that SAG really, really loves this film. And but the thing is, with Ariana Grande, while she has had a background in child acting, this is her first substantial role in a massive, massive movie. And in a way, that is the win, in a sense, for Ariana Grande. It's a huge victory, like being granted that opportunity to play a role of a lifetime, like Glinda the Good Witch. So, yeah, she is the kind of newcomer, but there's no denying Ariana Grande gave one of the most surprising performances of the past year. Like, it is I think she proved a lot of naysayers wrong, which is, I think, the appeal of Ariana Grande is that she was a delightful surprise. Like I think a lot of people were kind of expecting, myself included, I was expecting it to be, oh, she's good. I know she's a good singer. I know she'll be competent,
Yeah,
but no,
exactly.
she surpassed expectations was the thing with Ariana Grande, with her comedic timing and all that. So yeah, there is a solid argument that she could actually surprise at SAG because while Zoe Saldana has been sweeping, clearing up all the precursors, I've always said the one place that I could see Ariana Grande winning is SAG. I didn't even predict her to win Critics' Choice. Like
Yeah,
I
I didn't
wanted to, and I'll state this for the record: she's who I want to see win. Like I
yeah.
don't personal preference. I would love to see Ariana Grande win the Oscar. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Zoe Saldana's comfortably got it in the bag now. But it would be exciting to see Ariana Grande win something. And if there is one place where she could do it, it is SAG, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, I actually do think there's a solid argument for Wicked winning SAG Ensemble as well. And in recent years, at SAG, there usually is at least one like solo acting win that comes along with the SAG ensemble, like
Yeah.
Cillian Murphy of Oppenheimer, all the cast of Everything Everywhere, Troy Kotzer for Coda. I mean, it doesn't always happen. Like, there's plenty of examples where SAG ensemble's gone to
Black
someone.
Panther.
Black Panther, Chicago 7. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
loads of examples. But in recent years, they have tended to award a performance from the film that wins SAG Ensemble. And hypothetically, if Wicked does win SAG Ensemble, and it can because it has the most nominations, indicating the love for it, then you'd think if there's a solo performance that's going to get acknowledged, the most likely contender would be Ariana Grande. So that was, yeah, how I've kind of arrived at it. Like, I can sort of see Wicked potentially winning SAG Ensemble. And I do think, even though Zoe Saldana is going to win the Oscar, in my opinion, I still think there is a chance that Ariana Grande could pull off a win here. And so I kind of do also want to go with Ariana Grande here. Like, it's a bit of a hope prediction because I feel like
Yes.
I'm letting my personal bias for my preference of the performance getting in the way, because I do really, really love the performance of Ariana Grande in Wicked, more so than Zoe Saldana. I do like Zoe Saldana in Emilia Perez, but personal preference would be Ariana Grande. So yeah, I always have to ask myself, am I picking with my heart or am I picking with my head? And I feel in this case I'm picking more with my heart, but there is some logical rationale going on in my head saying that it could happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think my prediction also would be for Ariana Grande.
Another thing too is SAG AFTRA. It's not just SAG. So there's like
Yeah.
radio DJs and weathermen. Like my dad's not an actor, but he's a member of SAG.
Mm,
He's been an extra
wow,
in movies and TV shows. But
that's
what I'm
cool.
saying though, it's not just actors; it's average people too. And I think that helps Grande, and it's going to help discern someone an actress, which we'll get to.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, SAG didn't hate Emilia Perez. Like, it did get SAG Ensemble, and it got Carl Sofia Gascon getting in was
Yeah,
a massive victory in itself because not only great win for trans person getting into this category, but often film performances not in the English language
getting
don't get into SAG. So the fact that Carlos Sofia Gascon and Zoe Saldana got in is, huge. You can make the argument Zoe Saldana has a bit more to do in English in the film, which could help her.
yeah,
But yeah, often that's one more reason to vote more Grande is that typically non-English speaking performances don't actually go on to win at SAG. I think the only times it's happened is Parasite winning for SAG Ensemble, and like the cast of Squid Game winning some solo awards in the TV side of things. But yeah, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there are any other primarily non-English speaking performances that have won solo awards at SAG. So yeah, it kind of does also. It kind of makes me tilt more in Ariana Grande's favor, I'd say.
Okay, there was one, Roberto Bernini for Life is Beautiful.
Ah, there we go. So yeah, we do have one non-English speaking performance to win at SAG. Will Zoe Saldana join that exclusive club though? Do you think?
It's possible,
Hmm.
but I'm gonna stick with Grande. But I do think Zoe Saldana could easily just sweep at this point.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It feels like Saldana's going all the way, but if there's one place Grande can surprise, it's here. So yeah, well, shall I lock it in? Both of us
Yeah.
going with Ariana Grande. Girl, you have it, folks. We're both predicting Ariana Grande wins Best Supporting Actress at SAGs. Okay, then, mate. Let's move on to the next category, which is actor in a leading role. So in this category, we have Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothée Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Daniel Craig for Queer, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, and Ray Fiennes for Conclave. This could be an interesting one. I actually think there's a lot to discuss here because, again, while Adrian Brody has been sweeping here, there is absolutely an argument here for Timothée Chalamet to maybe pull off a win here because just based on stats, based on numbers, Complete Unknown got 4 nominations, which is substantial. Compare that to The Brutalist, where Adrian Brody is the sole nomination for
Yeah.
The Brutalist because it didn't get in at SAG Ensemble, and Guy Pearce and Felicity Jones both were shockingly snubbed in the supporting categories. So, yeah, there is a real argument for Timothée Chalamet here. I think for Complete Unknown because he whilst the counter argument I feel to Chalamet is he is quite young, and the youngest person to ever win lead actor at SAG I think was Nick Cage, at age 32 for leading Las Vegas. So yeah, no, and Timothée Chalamet is 29, so he's still quite young, but he is arguably the star of his generation. Like, and I feel like if anyone could pull off a win here, despite being so young, it would be Timothée Chalamet. Like, he is just such a name now for himself. Like, he's just been in so many massive movies, really earned a lot of clout over the years. So I do think there is an argument for Timothée Chalamet to win here. What are your thoughts on this one?
I've heard through the grapevine that Timothée Chalamet is probably winning this. That's
Yeah,
what I've heard through the grapevine. However, while I do agree with what I've heard, I think Ray Fiennes has a strong chance of winning too.
yeah,
And of course, Adrian Brody. That goes without saying, though. I think I'm going to go with Timothée Chalamet, though, based on what I've been hearing. A Complete Unknown did very well. And it's an actor's movie. Like, this movie is all about the performances. And as we saw with its nominations, it really benefited from being solely an actor's only movie.
yeah. It would be interesting if Timothée Chalamet doesn't win here, or The Complete Unknown doesn't win for SAG Ensemble. It's probably going to be poised to be the biggest loser of this whole award season because
Yeah.
Complete Unknown just has not won anything massive. It's not placed at Critics' Choice, Golden Globes, BAFTAs. It hasn't picked up a single award yet. So again, it's like Grande, like it's kind of best chance of winning something definitely does seem like the SAGs. Like you said, it's an actor's movie. So I definitely can see Timothée Chalamet winning this. The thing that's given me pause about Adrian Brody is that he is the sole nominee from The Brutalist. I know there was a little bit of hello Kitty. That's good. Like he's making a cameo. It's a gorgeous cat, mate. But yeah, I've lost my train of thought, distracted by beautiful cats. The thing that's given me pause about Adrian Brody is that while he's also the sole nomination from The Brutalist, there's been a little bit of controversy surrounding the whole. There was like some AI used to like alter some voice work or some Hungarian accents in it.
Yeah, so he
I
would
don't
say.
know. Yeah, I don't know if that's a thing that a lot of people are taking seriously, but I'm wondering if actors as well might be a little bit bothered by that. Like they might see it as like, well, it's it's enhancing a performance through technological means. I don't know if it actually does mean anything because genuinely, I could see Adrian Brody just sweeping the whole way. Like he does
Yeah,
just tick so many boxes. I feel like between him and Chalamet, his is almost the bigger performance, if that makes sense. Like while Chalamet is doing so much with like technically with his singing and his instrument playing, um, there's just something about Adrian Brody's Laszlo Toth, which just feels so big. Like it's a real
yeah,
showcase performance. Like it's very emotional, and that's the downside of playing Bob Dylan is he was quite stoic and all that. So it's like
yeah,
saying was he's still alive, talking like he's dead. So the thing about Bob Dylan is like he's not really a big showy person, even though he's in the entertainment industry and all that. Like he's not a rambunctious or flamboyant person. Like, but Timothée Chalamet certainly nailed his portrayal of him, which was amazing. It's just there's something about Adrian Brody's performance which just feels undeniable to me. Like it just really is that showcase thing. And I'm wondering as well, Adrian Brody hasn't won at the SAGs before. Like he was nominated for The Pianist. He lost, I think it was it Daniel Day Lewis? Yeah, I think it was Daniel Day Lewis.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure he lost to Daniel Day Lewis that year. So he's not been acknowledged by SAG before. Obviously, went on to win the Oscar for The Pianist, but I'm wondering because he's sort of at that age, that sort of middle of the career thing. Are SAG going to view it as like, well, Adrian Brody has been doing good work for a long time. Probably has garnered a lot of respect from fellow actors and stuff, and he really is such at the forefront of the discussion when people are talking about The Brutalist, along with Brady Corbet for
Yeah.
directing and the score by Daniel Blumberg. So yeah, there's a part of me that still thinks maybe Adrian Brody is still strong enough to beat Chalamet here, even though I feel like Chalamet might actually be the better pick on paper because of the
Yeah,
stats and stuff. Like you said, more of an actor's movie. There's less strikes against Timothée Chalamet's performance, I'd say. There's no like discussion of AI alterations, things like
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah, but I don't know. I am really torn on this one. Like, this is like, again, if there's anywhere, for me, I was saying with Demi Moore, the place I feel she is most at risk was BAFTA, and I was
Yeah,
right. For Adrian Brody, I always thought the place he's most vulnerable is SAG.
yeah.
So I'm not so sure. Like,
It's a tough
I feel
one.
like it is tough because The Brutalist, I would say, is a stronger film generally this award season than A Complete Unknown. It's winning more. Um, but yeah, it is tempting to go with Chalamet.
Yeah,
But I do have to come to a decision. And I don't know if it's playing it safe, but I'm going to not vote the same way as you or predict the same way as
that's fine.
you. I'm actually going to go with Adrian Brody.
Yeah,
I don't feel confident in this decision. Like, it really is 50-50 for me. Like, I can see it easily going to Chalamet. Like, it very much feels that way just because of the sheer amount of nominations that have Complete Unknown got at SAG. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel there's just a little something extra with Adrian Brody, the performance itself that I feel actors will want to acknowledge. But yeah, I'm going to say it now. My prediction for best leading actor at SAG is Adrian Brody, and you're going with Timothée Chalamet.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Feel good about
Not after all the things you said.
that? This
Well,
is
yeah,
why it's good to talk.
I'm
Like,
still gonna stick with that though.
that's fine. That's good. But this is why it's good to listen to other people's thoughts because, yeah, they can like broaden your horizons to different opinions and different ideas and stuff. So,
Yeah,
like, it's good to hear what you say because, like, again, it's making me question as well whether Chalamet is much stronger than I think he is. And part of me really does want to see it go to Chalamet
yeah,
because not only do I love him, I'm a Timmy Tim fan, but it's just nice when it doesn't always go to the same person as well. Like, it's
exactly.
just, yeah, it just makes the race more interesting. And if Chalamet does win, at least it will give us a little bit of pause going into Oscars night about
Yeah,
who's going to win. So yeah, because if Brody wins this, then there's absolutely no doubt that he's going to win
yeah,
the Oscar. But if Chalamet wins, then there's at least reasonable doubt there saying, okay, it could go potentially to Timothée Chalamet, but
Yeah.
regardless, I'm going to be predicting Brody for the Oscar, regardless of the outcome here.
And,
So cool. All right,
um,
buddy.
I've also heard they love Conclave, so watch out for Ray Fiennes.
Yeah, we've not really discussed Ray Fiennes. Do you think
Yeah.
there's an argument there that's worth discussing here?
There's no, but I just want to say don't completely dismiss him here. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, I feel like if he had managed to win the BAFTA, then we would definitely be
Yeah.
talking more about Ray Fiennes here, because BAFTA's home turf advantage and also Conclave won best film at BAFTA, somewhat surprisingly. Like, I mean, it seemed like it could easily be that winner because it was the most nominated film, but as the BAFTA winners were being announced, I got more and more confident it was going to the Brutalist, and then at the very last second, it was like, oh no, they've actually gone with
Oh,
the film with the most noms. Anyway, so let's jump into the final of the solo categories at SAG, which is actress in a leading role. And in this category, we've got Pamela Anderson for The Last Showgirl, Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Paula Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez, Mikey Madison for Honora, and Demi Moore for The Substance. This one, yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts, mate, on this category and who you think is going to potentially win it.
this category is very tough
Hmm.
because SAG voting actually closes Friday,
Hmm.
so Mikey Madison could gain more momentum towards the SAG. But here's the thing: they love career narratives. Brendan Fraser, Daniel Day-Lewis. I can keep going, but I think
Hmm.
they're gonna go with Demi Moore. But I'm surprised how quickly people are dismissing Demi Moore now. It's like the second that BAFTA win, everyone's like, "Oh my god, our queen Mikey Madison's gonna win! Thank God, we were worried." I'm like, calm down.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how quick the win changes once someone wins at the prior precursor. So, yeah, that's the thing. It's very easy to be seduced by momentum as well. So, like you said, uh, SAG voting hasn't finished yet, but funnily enough, today is Tuesday, the 18th of February, which means Oscars voting is closing today. So you can argue that Maggie Madison has a stronger chance to win the SAG award than the actual Oscar because there's more days for her to capitalize on her win from the BAFTAs. Because Oscars voting was open 5 days before Maggie Madison won the SAG award, and now there's been 2 days of Oscar voting after she's won the BAFTA. So she might have potentially gained a lot of last minute Oscar votes, but now she could hypothetically win the SAG here, like you said, just carrying over from the BAFTAs. But again, I was saying before, Demi Moore, after she won the Golden Globe and the Critics' Choice, I was like fairly confident. Okay, there is a pathway, a strong pathway for Demi Moore to go all the way and win the Oscar now. But I did end up predicting Mikey Madison was going to win BAFTA. But I always thought on the lead up to SAG that if there's anywhere that I feel very assured that Demi Moore was going to win, it would be at SAG. Like,
Same.
regardless of this fresh BAFTA win, Demi Moore, like you said, just has this undeniable narrative which actors love. Like, she is a 5-time winning Razzie winner, sorry, and now she's got this amazing comeback narrative, one of the best ones we've seen in recent memory. It's up there with Brendan Fraser in terms of like someone who's been discarded from the industry, not been treated very fairly. I guess given that amazing role where goes against everything they were typecast as when they were more famous when they were younger, and just has this amazing career resurgence, and actors love seeing that comeback story. Like I said, Brendan Fraser, Michelle Yeoh, arguably, even they just love an emotional narrative. So even Chadwick Boseman still triumphed at SAG, after he passed away and won posthumously at SAG. So yeah, even Jamie Lee Curtis, I'd argue as well,
Yeah,
someone who'd never been given her flowers as well.
that's probably
So
the best example.
yeah, so it's really hard to not predict Demi Moore here. Personally, I think she's just got that thing that actors love, and also the good thing to point out is that Demi Moore's character in The Substance, Elizabeth Sparkles, is an actress, a fading one, and it's it feels like her story is really going to connect with a lot of SAG voters, like especially older voters. But the beauty of the substance is it speaks to everyone because it's fears that we all have about
Exactly.
aging, relevance, loneliness. Like these are all universal things. But like in an industry like the entertainment industry, like these things are magnified tenfold, these insecurities. And so many of the SAG voters, I think, will be identifying with Elizabeth Sparkles just as much as Demi Moore's narrative. So, yeah, I can see an outcome where Mikey Madison does win the SAG award. Anora is in a stronger position. It got more nominations than The Substance at SAG. It is nominated for SAG Ensemble, and Yuri Borisov got supporting actor, whereas Demi is the solo nominee for The Substance. So yeah, but it just feels like to me, Demi's narrative and overall award season package is too strong to overcome, I think. So I'm going to be predicting Demi Moore here. Is that why you're going as well?
One more thing I want to know. She helps the fact that people will recognize her name immediately. Like Brendan Fraser for The Whale. Like,
yeah,
I highly doubt all 180,000 members seen The Whale at the time.
Yeah.
But they know, oh, I remember Brendan Fraser. Let's check him off. I think we could see the same thing for Demi Moore and The Substance.
Yeah, like I do agree. Name recognition and also celebrity, whatever you want to call it, that does come into play sometimes with the SAGs as well. Like just knowing a name or having affiliation with that person from years gone by can be a significant advantage. And again, Mikey Madison is she's not a newcomer, but she is relatively new compared to Demi Moore. So yeah, it makes more sense that Demi would win here as a sort of not only a triumphant comeback win, but also just like a celebration of her overall as well. So I think they will go with Demi Moore. But that's the question is if Mikey Madison wins the BAFTA. Sorry, that's what I was trying to say. If Mikey Madison, who's won the BAFTA, also wins at SAG, do you think Mikey Madison's going to win the Oscar?
That's going to be a tough one because I still think Demi Moore benefits from the longer voting period. But yeah, Nora's probably on the track to win Best Picture.
Yeah.
Like Frances McDormand and Nomadland, like in a Crazy Actress year, they just go with the Best Picture winner.
Agreed. Yeah, it's going to make the race more interesting. I feel like Demi Moore is still, I think, a little bit out in front for the Oscar win, but if Mikey Madison does win the SAG, then she's in danger, girl. So we'll see. Yeah, I was like, if she doesn't win there, then it's probably over for Demi Moore. And maybe we've read too much into the early hype of Golden Globes and Critics' Choice because like people got very excited when Demi Moore won the Golden Globes and it carried into the Critics' Choice. But there is a chance we just read too much into that it might have just been a Globes and Critics' Choice thing. We don't know. But in a way, it has given voters this award season permission to vote for Demi Moore because they've seen, oh, well, the Globes have done it and Critics' Choice have done it. Like, I know they're decided upon by press and journalists, but yeah, I feel like actors will still champion more, and then she might just have enough to go into Oscars night. But it is going to be such a nerve-wracking, nail-biting moment until they announce the winner of Best Actress. Like it is always the most exciting race. It's always the most anticipated, more so than Best Picture. I'm like always on edge, more so. Yeah, it is it's the best category. It's the best. So yeah.
Watch, we're talking about these two and they'll just go with Cynthia Erivo.
Can you imagine? Yeah.
No, just Pamela Anderson. Why not at this point? Who cares anymore?
Why not? We love a bit of chaos. This award season has been so bonkers and so topsy-turvy. Like, if they did throw out a surprise win for like Erivo, I mean, there's an argument. Like, it is the most nominated film at SAG. But yeah, it would be absolutely wild to see anyone else other than Moore or Mikey Madison win here. Like anyone else would just be like, what the fuck? Yeah, this makes no sense. This is maths I can't understand. So yeah, but sometimes it's fun when they do throw a curveball like that. But
agreed.
So yes, are we locking them in now? Our
Yeah,
predictions for actress in a leading role at SAG is going to be Demi Moore for The Substance. All right, mate. Two categories left to go, and we can do SAG Ensemble first,
yeah,
and then we'll do stunts. Okay. So for SAG Ensemble, in this category, we have a complete unknown, Honora, Conclave, Amelia Perez, and Wicked. This is an interesting one, I'd say. Like, it doesn't feel easy, this category. I can kind of make an argument for all five,
yeah.
because Wicked has the most noms, five. And they even gave it stunts as well, which was kind of
Which we'll
gaggy
get
in
to.
my opinion. It's like when Barbie got stunts. I'm just like, okay, sure, sure. I guess there's room for everybody. And then a complete unknown is the next in line with the nominations tally with four. Timothee Chalamet has a reasonable
Yeah,
chance of winning, and yeah, if there is a performance that wins a solo win, then arguably it
yeah,
can also win SAG Ensemble. Like you said, it's an actors movie. Amelia Perez, whilst it is in the controversy storm, it is arguably the most diverse cast in terms of like
yeah,
having a trans woman at the forefront and like, Spanish speaking people and all that. But yeah, it is probably in the weakest position, I'd say, post controversies of Amelia Perez. And then Honora has got three noms at SAG, which is all right. It's the best
yeah,
picture front runner. And it also just won casting a BAFTA, which I know casting and ensemble aren't the same thing,
yeah.
but they're
It's
easy to conflate. But it could mean something that yeah, Nora is just a really, really strong front runner, and SAG might just go with Nora. And then there's also Conclave, which won a Critics' Choice for Best Ensemble, but also won Best Film at BAFTA.
yeah,
And yeah, if Conclave manages to pull off a win here, SAG Ensemble, then it's actually going to make the race for Best Picture more interesting because everyone's presuming Honora is comfortably out in front with its wins at WGA, DGA, PGA, and Critics' Choice.
yeah,
That's a nice, comfortable lead. But if Conclave wins both Best Film at SAG and SAG Ensemble, then
yeah,
that means we do have a film that probably the next closest challenger to Honora to win Best Picture.
yeah.
So those are my thoughts, anyways, mate. How are you feeling with this category?
All right. What I've heard is Wicked and Conclave are neck to neck in SAG Ensemble. That's what I've been hearing. I've
Are you
heard
hearing this from your dad? I have to ask.
no, no. I've been hearing from people that have stronger connections to SAG.
Right.
I'm
Cool.
just going to leave it at that. They asked me not to reveal who they are, so I'm not going to.
No worries.
Well, but Honora again could benefit from the longer voting period. So can a complete unknown. I think I'm gonna go with Wicked though. I mean, we talked about Amelia Perez's cast being diverse, but so is Wicked. We have a woman in a wheelchair. We have people like
Mm.
Bo Yang, Michelle Yeoh, Cynthia Erivo. Like we do have some diversity in Wicked, and I think it having the most nominations and probably being the most popcorn-like movie, I think will help Wicked with the after part of SAG, especially.
Yeah, I can definitely see that argument. Again, it is the most nominated film at SAG, so it does imply that actors love Wicked. And you're right, it is a big popcorn movie, and it ever since they announced the noms, Wicked was my knee-jerk reaction for this category. Like it always felt like that's what they would go for, and then the fact they got four other nominations, just, including stunts, just that's just really good proof of that. Now, Honora is tempting me because it is the best picture frontrunner, and it just won casting at
Yeah,
BAFTA. So I do wonder because recently they have been going with the best picture winner, like with like Amelia Perez, sorry. They have been going with the best picture frontrunner. So they've gone with Oppenheimer, Coda,
yeah,
Parasite, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like they have just sort of been picking the film recently that goes on to win Best Picture, the Oscars. So, and I can see Nora being a film that actors really, really do love, and they might just be like, we want to like solidify our love for it. We're going to give it SAG Ensemble. So I am kind of being pulled in Nora's direction, but there's also a part of me that thinks maybe this is one of those years where, because it's been so,
Yeah,
chaotic this year, that maybe they won't feel as inclined to give it to Honora. Maybe they will go, because they have given it to, they've just gone with what they do like, and sometimes it is like a popcorn movie, like you say, like Black Panther or The Help or
Chicago
was it?
7.
Yeah, exactly. So there's there is that argument that they might just go a different direction from the Best Picture frontrunner, and Wicked just does seem to make a lot of sense to me. And if if a Wicked doesn't win SAG Ensemble or Ariana Grande for Best Supporting Actress, then I think it's probably the biggest film loser at SAGs, because I feel like every time a film's been nominated 5 times, it's won at least one. So yeah, I feel like Wicked has to win something at SAG, and so I feel like I'm just going to have to go with Wicked purely based on that logical argument, because I do think there's a chance Ariana Grande wins supporting actress, and that kind of ties into the SAG Ensemble win, and it's got the most noms. So while I do think there is a possibility Nora could show up, I still kind of want to go with my initial knee-jerk gut feeling reaction, which was Wicked all along. But again, there's even still a little part of me that's going like, oh, what if Conclave is just brewing, and what if like we do get that little last minute like curveball, and like, because there's a little part of me that actually does want it to go to Conclave, just because
It's
there's that
very
sadist,
possible.
yeah, there's that sadist side of me that doesn't want the Best Picture race to be, over just yet. Like, I would like there to be an actual race, and if Conclave does win SAG Ensemble, then we will have a race of swords. It might not be a close race, but it will be a race.
Yeah,
So part of me does think maybe SAG could go for Conclave, because, well, it's not massively diverse, the cast, but it is made up of a lot of like respected industry vets and stuff. So you got Ray Fiennes, Isabella Rossellini, Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow. So it does feel like maybe they will, maybe they'll throw us a curveball. Um, but yeah, I kind of do want to go with my initial feeling, which was Wicked.
yeah,
I don't feel good about it, but it kind of in a way feels like the most logical pick, I think. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah, I think I'm gonna say, shall I lock him in now for us both then, pal?
yeah.
Okay, so both me and Matthew are predicting that SAG Ensemble this year will go to Wicked. All right, then. Okay, pal, which brings us to the final category of the day, which is Best Performance by a Stunt Ensemble Cast. And in this category, we've got Deadpool and Wolverine, Doom Part 2, The Fall Guy, Gladiator 2, and Wicked. Tell me, mate, what are your thoughts on this category?
I actually think they're gonna go with Wicked.
No.
I really think they do.
Oh, good. Okay. Talk me through it. Talk the audience through this, because I
Alright.
do want to hear this argument.
A,
So.
Wicked has the most nominations, which does help. B, it's probably the most like recognized movie on this list. And as we've seen, sometimes they go with movies that are nominated in other categories. Black Panther, for example, won this category. It can also be Dune Part 2, but something just tells me they're going to go with Wicked, so I'm going to stick with that.
Okay. Interesting. You might be the first person I spoke to that's predicting Wicked in stunts, but I admire the gumption, so good on you, pal.
Thank you.
For me, I feel like the two categories that I can see it coming down to are Doom Part 2 and The Fall Guy. Doom Part 2 because, while it might not be the more... It's certainly a popcorn movie. I do think Wicked is more of the popcorn movie,
Yeah.
but Doom Part 2 is certainly a action-packed, spectacular piece of cinema. And while Doom Part 1 didn't win in this category in 2021, it went to No Time to Die.
Yeah.
I do think like there is a lot of respect for the Dune movies, and I feel like SAG may just go with it because it is just such the big spectacular film of the year. But the other option, I think, which is the one that I was initially going to when they announced the category, is The Fall Guy. And while The Fall Guy, by all measures, was not a triumph at the box office, it is such a film about celebrating the unsung heroes of the industry, which is the stunt
Stunts.
ensemble. And that is why I feel like that gives it a good chance of winning here, even though it's probably out of those five, the least profitable movie. I think it technically is a flop compared to its budget, but it's just really hard to ignore the fact that it is the film that champions the stunt department. Like it's the movie for the stunt people. And I feel like stunt voters as well will be like, yeah, like we need a stunt category at the Oscars. We need to be recognized more for what we're doing, and giving the win to a film like The Fall Guy feels like almost like a statement, I think. So that's where I've been torn. Dune feels like more the movie that more people have seen and has a lot of respect, whereas The Fall Guy just has that emotional je ne sais quoi, if you will, that thing, that the little quality that I feel like might just give it an edge here, even though arguably it might actually be the least seen of all these nominees. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. It's hard because this is another instance where I feel like it's a head and a heart prediction, or a predicament, because head says Wicked, and so head says Doom Part 2, and you're inceptioning me with that Wicked thing.
Sorry.
And it's all good. It's all good. And my heart says it's The Fall Guy. So yeah, I am kind of torn on this one. But there's just something about The Fall Guy which I feel is going to be irresistible to a lot of voters. The narrative of it all, the of the whole film itself. So yeah, I'm going to be bold and predict The Fall Guy, but I can see Doom Part 2 winning this. I never thought Wicked would win. No offense, but I loved hearing your thought on it. But hey, if you're right, you get bragging rights, mate. Good for you. Because I don't think there's a lot of people on the awards expert predicting Wicked right now. So if you do end up being right, then yeah, flaunt it, buddy, on social media. Just I told you so. You can tag me in it as well, and I'll be like, you were right, I was wrong.
Something just tells me they're going to go in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the argument. My brain was saying, really, Wicked for stunts when they announced it. I was like, okay, and I guess it was like Barbie showing up. I was like, I get it. I get that there's stunts in it, but it's not really a stunt movie. But yeah, I I just can't fathom voting for it. But I see where you're coming from with your predictions. So are you locking yours in then?
Yep, I am.
Okay, guys, you've heard it here. Matthew is going to be predicting that Wicked wins Stunt Ensemble Cast, and yours truly will be predicting that The Fall Guy wins Stunt Ensemble Cast. And there we have it, mate. We have gone through all our SAG categories. How do you feel?
I feel good. This is going to be a crazy award show, though. I can feel it.
I kind of want some more chaos. I always enjoy surprises more so. Yeah.
Me too. Everything's been so crazy, though. Who knows?
Yeah, indeed. But it's been fun chatting to you, mate. It's been lovely bouncing off of you and hearing what you have to say. It's always more fun talking to other people about this. But yeah, do let the viewers at home, where can they find you, pal?
All right, they can find me on YouTube and Twitter under Matthew Anzalone. And I always follow back anyone who follows me. And I will be doing the TV side of SAG on my channel very soon. And we'll see what kind of chaos they will pull in that category, because TV's always weird and wacky with them.
Of course, yeah. Well, thanks so much, pal. There you guys. I'll leave links to Matthew's socials in the video description down below. Please do give him some love by following and subscribing to his YouTube channel. And can I just say personally, it's been lovely to have you here on the channel. And no, it's been great. It's been just lovely chatting about award season. It's always fun. But yeah, thank you very much for your time, mate. And good luck with all your predictions and the rest of award season. And until then, take care, pal. Yeah.
Bye.
All right. There we have it, guys. Those were my and Matthew's predictions for the SAG Awards 2025. Do let me know in the comment section down below. What are your predictions for all 6 of the film categories? And yeah, whatever you have to say, do let your voice be heard in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoying the content on the channel, please do help support by clicking that subscribe button. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Hearfield, and I'll see you next time.